The narrator of Mashle, Magic and Muscle's first episode introduces the magic realm. In this universe, anyone can use magic because it is a normal part of life, and one's level of magic proficiency determines their social standing. We look to Recap-senpai, a 75-year-old man who lives in a remote jungle with his son Mashle. After a fight over the front door, Recap asks if he has finished his training. Mashle affirms that he has and inquires of Recap as to why his training results in physicality. Recap assures the audience that Mashle is incapable of using magic. He then promises to explain later and departs for the day. Mashle promises not to enter the city when Recap advises him not to. Mashle disregards Recap's requests because he is hungry. He observes a lot of individuals employing magic in the city and questions why they can't just use their hands for those tasks. He surprises the caterer by giving him bent coins. After unbending the money, he is given his meal. Another officer, Brad Coleman, tries to scare his prisoner with crazy actions, but someone phones and tells him that Mashle's face are unmarked. Mashle wonders why everyone views him differently as he travels the streets eating cream puffs. He runs into a magic police officer and stains the officer's uniform, after the officer yells at him for his impolite behavior. Mashle tears off the stained piece and says he'll return them once they've been cleaned. Mashle and the police are discovered by Brad, who begs his friend to calm down. Mashle is approached by Recap, who takes him and runs away. Brad uses his wand to conjure a magical bird, instructing it to follow him. Mashle apologizes when Recap screams at him for going into the city. He is required to undergo his training routine as punishment. Recap is aware that he must maintain a high level of alertness because the magic police have learned of Mashle's existence. Recap's home is unexpectedly visited by Brad and his men, who demand that he reveal where Mashle fled. Mashle leaves the gym after completing his workout and goes home to eat some cream puffs. Mashle hears Brad talking to Recap about him before he opens the door. Recap won't spill it, so Brad crushes him. A flashback shows a young Recap being mocked for having meager magical talents. Recap recalls feeling like a failure his entire life and wanting to end it. He heard an abandoned infant crying before. Recap now had a fresh motivation to live. Mashle is instructed to flee by Recap, who yells. Mashle uses his incredible power to burst down the door and kill one of Brad's goons. To protect Recap, Mashle swears to send all of these guys to their deaths. Mashle is the target of many magical spells from Brad, but he simply deflects them. Mashle casts a spell-breaking wand at Brad to end it. Brad is forewarned not to threaten his family once more by him. If not, he will kill every one of them. Mashle is told by Brad to comply with his instructions or he and the whole country would hunt him and Recap. In order for Mashle to succeed as the next divine invisionary, he needs to attend the magic school. He assures him that society will accept him and that he will support him. Mashle agrees to Brad's request because he hopes he and Recap can live in harmony. Mashle makes a promise to become the following divine invisionary as the show comes to a close. He heads toward the magic school. The narrator of Mashle, Magic and Muscle's second episode describes how difficult it is to enroll in Easton Magic Academy. Meanwhile, Claude keeps an eye on the applications for this year. Recap and Brad spy on Mashle concurrently. Recap feels dubious, whereas Mashle is certain he will succeed on the entrance exam. When Claude stands in front of the competitors, we discover that despite his youth, he is a seasoned spellcaster. Mashle is the only person who is unimpressed by Claude's sorcery. Claude calls for seats and assigns the students to take a written test. However, because Claude has charmed the examinations, the pupils must work to stop the movement of the questions. Mashle crushes his writing implement out of rage.
動かれると困るんだけど。
A montage of Mashle accomplishing chores successfully follows. For the pupils' maze test, Claude creates it. He gives them 30 minutes to find the endpoint. A female student named Lemon tags along with Mashle before he starts. Lemon irritates Mashle by falling into several traps. Mashle tells Lemon they need to move quickly after hearing some other students shouting. Lemon casts a spell to put Mashle in handcuffs before he goes. Lemon says that she was told to keep Mashle away from the objective. Mashle uses his strength to break the handcuffs and flees because she won't explain why. Mash is being pursued by Lemon, but she is stopped by an Egyptian monster. Mash saves Lemon out of sympathy for her before the monster attacks her for not being able to figure out a riddle. Mash and Lemon navigate the maze despite the fact that they are running out of time. Mash is mocked by everyone for cheating, but Lemon admits that Lemon acknowledges that Claude instructed her to obstruct Mash, though. She says that if she keeps Mash from finishing the maze, Claude will pass her. After admitting it, Claude challenges Mash to a duel. Mash breaks his wand and everyone is startled. Headmaster Wahlberg arrives to break up the fight. He starts the final interviews and informs the students that he will be in charge of the test. He interviews Mash after teleporting him to his office. He probes Mash on his motivations for enrolling in the academy and any concerns he might have had regarding the maze test. Mash claims he never worried. Mash is questioned by Wahlberg about his fear of facing an opponent who is equally powerful to him. He puts Mash to the test by damaging Regro's soul with one of his magical devices. Mash recognizes that this is an endurance test when he is unable to escape with a punch. Wahlberg breaks the enchantment, confirming Mash's fears. Mash warns Wahlberg that he would knock him out if he ever caused harm to his family. Wahlberg tells him he passed the entrance exam and welcomes him to Easton Magic Academy. Mash disturbs his teacher on his first day at the Easton Magic Academy by using his power to unlock a lock. Mash meets Finn, his roommate. Mash questions Finn about the requirements for becoming a divine visionary. Finn explains that you must gather gold coins, and that you do so depending on the evaluations of your academic performance, extracurricular activities, tests, and school life. One will be expelled if they are unable to maintain their grades each semester. Mash and Finn consume cream puffs in the last moments of the episode. Mash starts the third episode of Mashle, Magic and Muscles by asking Finn if he may borrow a broom for tomorrow's class. The class is instructed by their instructor to control their brooms with magic. Mash finds it difficult to use magic, so he kicks the ground, which makes his broom spring into his grasp. Then a student dares him to a race. Loser must comply with the winner's instructions. They are given the opportunity to race, and Mash triumphs over his rival. Finn reveals that Mash defeated his opponent by using his strength and air resistance. Mash abandons the wager out of sympathy, but a young man named Cavil stops. Cavil is prevented from disturbing the class by the teacher. After telling Mash that they should meet up after school, Cavil walks away. Cavil confronts his friend for disobeying directions and inquires as to why the friend lost to Mash. In the hallway, Finn informs Mash about Cavil and states that Cavil is feared because he is the son of a senior official at the Bureau of Magic. If someone opposes Cavil, they'll probably be expelled, and Cavil will keep harassing them. Mash notices that his textbook is completely torn up in Potion's lesson. Regarding his absence from their meeting yesterday, Cavil confronts him. Mash is tasked with performing certain favors for Cavil. In return, he will use his contacts to help Mash reach his objective of becoming the divine visionary by putting in a good word for him. Mash completes a variety of odd jobs for Cavil. When Mash is cleaning, he spills something and realizes he hasn't given Finn's textbook from a previous lesson back. Finn is asked by Cavil to burn Mash's belongings. He believes Mash will stop attending school as a result of the ongoing bullying. Cavil binds Finn with his string magic after Finn says no to him. Mash discovers Cavil, Finn, and Cavil's friends. When he notices Finn injured, he asks Cavil what he is doing. Finn apologizes and tells his story that he was given the order to destroy his possessions. Cavil's face is slammed to the ground by Mash, who holds him by the hair. Vice Principal Kregos appears out of nowhere. Before Kregos could report the incident to anyone, Mash kicks him and buries him in the corridor. Mash is invited to Wahlberg's office where he is informed that the Bureau of Magic has sent him a letter. As a result of his assault on Cavil and the vice principal, they want Wahlberg to be expelled. According to Wahlberg, the Bureau of Magic is the supreme court in the nation. But Wahlberg destroys the letter because he disapproves of the idea that kind kids are at a disadvantage to snarky ones. It would help transform the system if someone like Mash could become a divine visionary, thus he hopes for it. Wahlberg explains to Mash the steps necessary to become a divine visionary. In relation to Kregos and the Bureau of Magic, Wahlberg vows to solve the situation. The narrator reveals that Mash acquired popularity and wasn't punished for his activities. Finn and Mash are talking about cream puffs when Tom Knowles comes by and makes Mash an offer. He wants Mash to compete in a duello match on behalf of Adler Dorm. Mash tries to convince Tom that he can't fly a broom despite the fact that it's a broom competition. Tom, however, won't accept no as an answer and lets Mash join his group. Mash stays put on the ground during the competition. The supporters mock Mash at the end of the show.